Hey, what's up guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to talk about whether or not this short squeeze is going to push Vuzix to $35 a share in April. You ready? Let's get started. So, this channel is all about using the online income opportunities like merch by Amazon and Etsy to build our income online and invest this income in things like the stock market and real estate. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, we have seen some pretty impressive volatility in the market recently. There has been a general downtrend for the market. It hasn't been as bad as the correction we experienced a month or so ago, but it has definitely been noticeable among the NASDAQ stocks like Vuzix. Vuzix has definitely taken a nosedive in the last week or so. They went from the highs of around 30 to down around $24 a share, or $23 a share at the bottom. And it's been rough. It's been rough to see the stock go down after such a tear on an upward trajectory, the good news that they've had coming out, and the positive earnings report. So it's kind of, somewhat confusing and, frustrating to see the stock going down. But like we talked about in the last video about Vuzix that I'll link here when addressing their earnings report, they have been shorted by a lot of companies. There were many people placing bets that Vuzix wasn't going to get over 21. And then, like we saw in March, Vuzix did not get under 21 for quite a while, which probably forced a lot of short sellers to buy back into Vuzix, which means that the price continued to go up. And now those short sellers are probably just doubling down, or at least that's what it looks like. They're doubling down for Vuzix to go down again. So, what do we expect from short sellers in the future as far as if they're shorting Vuzix in the future? Well, we definitely know for sure that there are short sellers taking on Vuzix. Most of the short selling that is going on is between $24 and $27 a share in the future, in the month of April specifically. So, what this means is that if Vuzix gets, or they are essentially betting that Vuzix is going to be between $27 and $24 a share. The lower it goes under those amounts, the more those people get paid. So if Vuzix does not get above $24 a share, it will likely be kept under $24 a share by the short sellers and potentially go down even more. So this is not a great thing if you're a Vuzix shareholder. However, if you're like me and you've been in this stock for a while, I think I have an average cost basis of around $9 a share. So really, short selling this stock isn't too intimidating for me. It's not exactly the best thing in the world that could happen, but it's not the worst because, even at $24 a share, I've over doubled my money. And so I'm very comfortable with where Vuzix is right now as a company and where they could go in the future. However, this short selling is something to definitely be concerned about, but could, like we say, be a very good thing in the future if Vuzix keeps putting out the great news that they've been talking about, because there has been some amazing news around Vuzix. And this could likely force another short squeeze to push Vuzix into $35 a share in April. We have seen that Vuzix has taken on another healthcare customer in the order of $200,000 plus in spending on the Vuzix augmented reality glasses. This is a great example of further proof that Vuzix is likely going to be dominant in the healthcare industry as far as augmented reality in the business-to-business space. Vuzix has taken on so many clients and done so many things to provide value to the healthcare industry that it is fair to say that Vuzix, as long as these trends continue, is going to be the #1 provider for augmented reality and just that kind of technology for the medical sector. As far as, the EMT responders or doctors or, students wanting to become doctors. It is very reasonable to see that Vuzix is becoming very popular with these people, and also in the enterprise space. There is a company called Cooper Corporation that is deploying Vuzix glasses in their operations for warehouse picking. So this is another great area where Vuzix stands out because Vuzix is able to make warehouse picking much simpler. It takes a lot of the guesswork out, and it really just allows the training of people who work in a warehouse to go much smoother, and it is basically seamless because you essentially don't really have to train someone. You just say, put these glasses on, it's going to tell you where to go, And once you see the product, you'll know because it's going to light up on the screen. So that is pretty amazing, and it makes for a great training device for enterprise solutions because not a lot of people want to have the time wasted for training an employee to get started, and also having the time wasted for someone that you already have that's experienced to take the time to train someone else up. So if you don't have to waste both of those people's time, and from the time that someone starts, you're able to give them a pair of glasses and they're able to be productive, from a business perspective, that is an insane value add for the company, and Vuzix is giving that value add to these people. Now, with the growth of the enterprise growth that Vuzix is experiencing, being in the business-to-business sector, it is also giving them a leg up in the consumer sector where they have their Vuzix Blade glasses. Now, if you know anything about me and you've been following this channel for a while, I'm definitely more bullish on the business-to-business sector of Vuzix than the business-to-consumer sector, because we do know that Apple is eventually going to come out with an augmented reality version of their glasses, and it is likely going to take over the business-to-consumer space. However, they have not done it yet, and they keep pushing this timetable back as far as when we can expect to see something from Apple in the future. So, while Apple is sleeping, Vuzix is gaining market share by proxy of what they're doing in the business-to-business sector, specifically in the enterprise sector. Because people are experiencing these glasses at work, they see the benefit of it, and then they are able to see the company of Vuzix has these Vuzix Blades as well, which are mainly for the consumer sector, and so their Vuzix Blade is gaining popularity in the consumer sector. So, with all of these things, it is definitely easy to see that even though people are shorting this stock in April, it is really going to be hard to keep this stock down because of all of the positive things that they have going on with this company. They have all of those headlines, they have the momentum of the stock moving forward because, you know, even though we hit a skid the last 3 or 4 days, we've been up about 12% today on Thursday of March 25th, 2021. And so we're able to see a positive trend starting. And this could potentially be the beginning of another short squeeze because it was at the end of March that most of the short sellers had bet that Vuzix was going to go under $21 a share. But even at the lows right now, we are, I think, around $22 to $25 a share. So that's really not going to happen, and it's likely going to force a short squeeze, which is maybe why we're seeing a bump here on Thursday. However, it is really not 100% to tell if that is actually what's happening. We'll likely see once Friday comes around. This is being shot on Thursday, like I said. So this is going to come out on Friday, and we'll see if things, you know, happen the way we think they will, where people who shorted this position are going to have to buy in and then push the stock even higher in the future. So, what could happen if Vuzix does, or if the bears are successful whenever April comes around and Vuzix is continuing to be shorted? Because, like I said before, we have seen that there are tons of shorts for Vuzix coming in April. Most of those are centered around $23 to $24 a share. And so what that means is that Vuzix is either going to go down to $24 a share or lower in April. But again, if you have been in Vuzix for a while, this is really not something to worry about. If you just got into Vuzix, then it could likely be a rough time for you, and Godspeed. But anyway, hopefully you guys have bought in early and you're not buying in now at the peak. What can also happen with the short sellers trading on Vuzix is that the stock could just trade sideways, which basically means it doesn't really do anything because these short sellers are trying to push the stock down. The stock momentum itself is driving up, and so we just get a flat line for a while. But even if it remained flat around where we are now, it would likely force a short squeeze in the future. And that's what we are hoping for, is the third option, where the stock continues to move higher on more good news, because Vuzix does a great job, like we've seen, of letting us know when they get orders, when they have new technology, and they seem to have something to say almost every day of the week. So with Vuzix putting out constant positive information, it is very reasonable to think that it will continue to push the stock even higher. which will likely cause a short squeeze of $35 plus in the near future of April. So that is what could happen, and obviously what we would like for it to happen is that the short squeeze happens and we get a boost in share price and we get closer to that price target of $75 a share. So is this really where Vuzix belongs? Like, is it a overvalued position that Vuzix is getting in with these short sellers pushing the stock higher? Are we getting into what would be considered bubble territory? Well, Vuzix right now is valued at $1.5 billion. That's not a lot. For what they're doing and the total addressable market that they're going after, which is over $100 billion market within the next, what, 3 to 5 years? They are only a $1.5 billion company. And even if Apple comes into this sector within the next year and dominates most of the market, and Vuzix only holds on to maybe 10% of the $100 billion market, that would still be a $10 billion company, which means that Vuzix would likely 10x in the future. So I think that Vuzix right now is still a slightly undervalued company. They're still proving themselves, and they're still showing that they can actually provide the benefits that they have claimed. So Vuzix is on a great path right now to move forward and be an amazing company in the future. I do think that we're going to see $75 a share potentially by the end of the year, if not by the end of the summer. And we're going to see Vuzix do some amazing things. And there have also been rumblings of a buyout in the future. However, with Paul Travers at the helm, I don't think that a buyout is going to be successful. The only reason that I would think that he would accept a buyout is to get into the positive as far as earnings per share. But really, if he keeps everything up that he's doing right now, he is going to be in the positive probably by the end of the year. So there really isn't a reason for, you know, a buyout to go on for Vuzix unless Paul is just done and he really wants to be done with his company. However, with everything that he has talked about on interviews that he's done on CNBC, with the presentations he's done in the past, I really don't think that Paul is in a position where he wants to sell this company and exit in any way. So I think we have a long future to look forward to with Vuzix. I think that, you know, like we've said in past videos, that $75 a share is definitely a reasonable price estimate. And at $25 or $20-something a share right now, it is an incredible buying opportunity, potentially a 3x multiple. So that is my position on why I think that a short squeeze is going to happen, and we're going to likely see $35 a share next month. Potentially more, but anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you have any thoughts about what's happening, if you know anyone who is shorting this stock, maybe they have information as to why they would like to short it. But I'm always open to your opinion, so drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking and whether or not you are selling or holding this company or buying more. Anyway, hope you guys have a great weekend. And remember, someone is going to do something amazing every day, guys. Why not you? See ya.